Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Grumpy Snail Podcast with your host, me, the uncancelable Jonathan Snyder, here again for another rambly nonsense, me just talking into a microphone and recording it and hopefully doing it for 30 minutes. And that counts as a video because that's how it works. Alright, so I feel like I need to invest in a teleprompter so I don't have to try to remember things off the top of my head or read my little scribbly notepad here with my outline and notes and nonsense and whatnot. So, yeah. So I finally got my first video up for the new year nonsense stuff. So it's the middle of March, so that's pretty good, right? The first video, March, whatever. So the first video with Hank the Handyman Harvey, and that's up. There's a bunch more of his videos that I've got edited already that are ready to go. There's a bunch more that I have that I need to get ready, edit down. So there's plenty of that. Next week will be the first. Next weekend will be the first video, first Potomac Highlander video that I'll have for the year, and sometime this week, I'm not sure when it is. I think it's Thursday or Friday. I can't remember. There'll be a bonus video. I think it's Thursday. Maybe it's Wednesday. I'm not sure. But there'll be a bonus video. So I'll probably get like 3 views on that because it's hard enough just to get people to view your video on a scheduled time when you release it. But that'll be up. And yeah, we'll just keep this cycle going. Every other Sunday we have a random video, and then the opposite Sunday we have our podcast. Right? So, I feel like there was something else that I wanted to cover before I got into the news nonsense, which everybody hates, doesn't like. But I can't think of what it was. What was it? I don't know. I have no idea. So anyway, let's go back 2 weeks. I know it was a long time. I know a lot of stuff has happened since then, and I'll kind of, I don't know. I'll kind of try to keep it together. But there's a lot of like, hey, look, this thing happened, and then it's gone, because that's how life is. There's a string of fleeting moments. It's here, and then it's gone. So, yeah, we'll get to that. So, there was a bunch of new words added to dictionary.com. Now, I know that dictionary.com isn't Webster's, and it isn't Oxford, but, I mean, we're getting so far away from books now. I mean, we're starting to erase books and change words in books and turn autobiographies into fictional books. So what we're going to do is pretend that dictionary.com is like an actual dictionary in which we use a reference to find out what a word means. So there is somewhat like 560 some odd words or something like that. I don't know the exact number. It's several hundred new words that were added to dictionary.com last year. And while I understand adding certain words like cancel culture or canceling, because we already have those words, but they kind of mean something different now. And let's see, what was the other? Oh, flex is a word that means something different now. And there was one more. What was the other one? Deepfake. That was the word. Deepfake. I don't know why I couldn't remember it, but that's an important new word. So, I mean, I understand that, but then they're adding words like ASMR. Why are you adding an initial? I mean, I understand that we need to know the definition of new words, but are initialisms words? I know acronyms are. So I mean, they added BIPOC. So, I mean, the Black, Indigenous, people of color, that word's there. But then it got real stupid, and they added words like finna, which is the urban or Ebonic way to say fixing to, which is also like stealing redneck southern slang. That's dumb. Just because somebody says finna because they're lazy to say fixing to or I'm going to or using another term of that, and then also adding supposedly, that's not a word. Because people can't pronounce supposedly, that doesn't make any sense. It's the dumbest thing I mean, one of the dumbest things. There's a lot of dumb things, so I mean, it's a big rival, but this is a small, I mean, we're gonna talk about a bunch of terrible things, and they're all little small things that add up to a great big toilet bowl of crap that we're in. So, we also, I mean, it's been completely gone this week, but for the last week and week before, the whole Bachelorette Chris Hansen thing was a totally big deal. So much so that, Chris Hansen, who didn't do anything, completely lost his job. Which I don't care. I don't watch The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. Both of those shows are stupid. I mean, they're totally sexist, especially if you're a trans person. There hasn't been one trans person on any of these shows. And how many seasons did it take for them to get black people in the show? I mean, it's completely dumb and retarded. Where are the gay and lesbian people on these shows? Those people are getting married. Why aren't they on The Bachelor, Bachelorette? The whole damn thing should be canceled. Nobody should be watching this at all. I don't care who you are or why you're watching it or whatever. But let's say that we're getting rid of that completely. It's gone. No more. All right. Let's see. What else do I have written down on my pad? Oh, so the news came out that the Washington Post, which was one of the original original news sites that posted about how, remember back when we were having that election in Georgia with the senators, and they said that Donald Trump called Georgia and said, "Hey, you need to find this fraud that exists. You need to find it. You need to find those votes." Yeah, it turns out that is a lie. They just made up the quotes, and they apologized about it, 3 months later after the election was already done. And after they had already, posted that news. And, it's a little annotation at the end of a great big long article that, nobody's gonna read. Most people probably don't even know about it. I'm not a news person. I shouldn't be giving you news that you don't know about. So, yeah, and I mean, it doesn't matter. It's gone. Speaking of the whole election thing, that stupid woman, Sidney Powell, admitted, because, now she's being sued by Dominion for lying about how, Dominion was created by Hugo Chavez to control elections or whatever. So now she's being sued for defamation by the company Dominion, and she said that no reasonable person would believe any of the words that she said. No reasonable person would believe. She basically called all Trump supporters like retards. So that's who you're listening to. That's you QAnon people and you hardcore Trumper people. That's that. There you go. Do you care about that? Do you care at all about that? We have, of course, this $2 trillion, Save America bill that Biden has passed. And, it was like immediately after that was passed, news came out that they were spending, $1.5 billion. This has nothing to do with this bill. Nothing to do with the $1 trillion, but they're going to spend $1.5 billion on a whole vaccine campaign. Go out and get your vaccine. I mean, how... This imaginary monetary theory that these people think that they're going to go by, that you can't know. You need to stop. You need to stop spending money. It needs to stop. And on, like, after they pass that bill, after they pass this bill, now Joe Biden's talking about his $3 to $4 trillion infrastructure bill that he wants to pass that has it has $3 to $4 trillion worth of stuff in it. And when does it stop? When is it going to stop? Who's paying for this? You think you can't just coin $2 trillion coins and put it in the Fed and have this? So you walk around and talk about how we have this global economy. We need to think globally. We can't just be little old America first. Well, here's what happens when you spend trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars of nonsense. Nobody's trading with you. Nobody's going to take your dollar. Your dollar is worthless. So, because that's happening, we've got, the Fed has projected, there's been some reports that the Fed is projecting for inflation to be between 10 to 20% each year for the next 4 years. So, we're talking 40-60% inflation. If you have $100 in the bank, in 4 years, it'll be worth $60 to $40. That's how that works. So, you might want to get on that, minimum wage, and, the hell with $15. You're gonna need like $30, $50 just to be able to feed yourself. So, you keep doing these spending bills, you're gonna see what happens because of it. In amongst all this, you had the border crisis or situation, because it's not a crisis. And it's only kids in cages if it's Donald Trump, and it's housing facilities when it's Biden. These places are packed 700 some odd %. There's so many people that that they shipped 3,000 of these kids, these minors, to Dallas. So they're housing them in the Dallas Convention Center, in which there's no supervision of this place. They're just, from what I understand, there's no security or anything. They're just in and out. They can leave whenever they want, that sort of thing. And, Biden, kind of mentioned this in his press conference that he just had a couple days ago, that, we're trying to get these people out of these facilities as fast as possible. Okay, well, where are they going? Even though that the court ruled your do not deport executive order, unconstitutional, that you couldn't do it, I know you're not trying to deport all these people. I know that's not happening. So where are they going? If you're removing them from these facilities, where are they going? Where are these people going? I saw a report that there was this foster home in California that they had called, and a foster home, you foster like 6 to 8 kids, right, maximum? Yeah, so they called and asked, maybe, hey, could you guys possibly take 26 of these kids maybe in a foster home? So where are these people going? That's what I want to know. Where are these people going? And they aren't stopped coming. They're still coming. In amongst all this nonsense, I'm gonna for a split second mention the fact that the Catholic Church came out and said that gay marriage is bad, and then everybody freaked out. So much so that Don Lemon, who is this host on CNN, decided to say that people need to understand that Jesus was black or brown. No, Don Lemon, Jesus was a Jew. Okay, that's all I want to say about that. So also there was the shooting in Georgia where this stupid guy who is insane and an idiot and all of the above that like he killed people. He killed like 8 people, I think injured 1. And of course they had to group this into the Asian hate. There's Asian hate, and everybody, the Asian hate needs to stop. It needs to stop. We need to stop the Asian hate. I saw a video on Reddit, which is turning into it's turning into like Twitter's almost as messed up brother. But there was this video of this Black Power, Black Lives Matter something rally or something, where they were protesting this Chinese restaurant and throwing up the Black Power symbol and stuff. And I was like, it's weird. There's too much Asian hate. It's too much. And it's always white people. It's always white people. I bet you didn't know that the Suez Canal was blocked. You didn't know that, did you? I bet you don't even know what a Suez Canal is. Do you? Well, it just so happens it's this monstrous canal, over on the other side of the world, where, 10 to 12% of global economy flows through that canal. And now there's a great big ship blocking the canal. And it's been like that for like 3 or 4 days. So 10 to 12% of the global economy has been shut down for the last 3 or 4 days because of this ship that's stuck, and they can't get it out. It's stuck there. It's stuck. Do you know what they moved through that canal? They moved, electronics, petroleum products, food. It's not bad enough that the whole inflation thing's happening, but shortages cause prices to rise as well. And speaking of shortage, did you know that on top of all this, there's a computer chip shortage? Yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, there's a shortage of computer chips. You know what computer chips are in? Yeah, they're in everything. At least they're not in alcohol. That's all I can say. Oh, you know what else happened? Biden fell down he fell up some stairs. And, everybody on the right had to make a big deal about it. Everybody left had to make a big deal about how it wasn't a big deal. It was the wind. Why didn't they just say, yeah, people fall down the steps. Like it happens all the time. Oh, no, it's because he's old. No, it's because he was trying to quickly run up these steps. He was stupidly trying to run up these steps because, he made a big deal about how Donald Trump slowly walked down ramps and he walks up steps. He runs up steps. Well, no, you keep doing stupid shit like that, you're going to misstep, you're going to fall down. And because he didn't stop and regain his composure and then continue to go up the steps, instead of just trying to jump up and run back up the steps, he fell like 3 or 4 times. I just fell completely down the steps. Because he's dumb. He does dumb crap. I don't think he's senile as much as he is dumb. He's just dumb. One of the dumb things he decided to do was, so anybody in the White House that had previous history of smoking, did you smoke pot? Yeah, that's cool. You're out. You're fired. Get out. Get out. Everybody that smoked pot, get out. Everybody, out. But Kamala Harris is still there. Didn't she admit to smoking pot? Listen to Tupac? In a little stroller chair, talking about freedom. Man, there's so many things happening in the White House. There's reports the White House diplomats are now getting into these verbal, like, argument matches with Chinese diplomats and Russian diplomats. Like, they're all just arguing because, you know, the U.S. has to say things like, hey, Russia, why are you killing people? And, you know, hacking into our information systems. Remember SolarWinds? They still haven't figured that shit out. And then you're also going, hey, China, you know, you're kind of need to stop throwing Muslims into concentration camps. And of course, China's standing over there going, hey, why don't you shut up, America? You're racist. That's the situation that we're in. That is the world that we're living in now. And it's bad. It's all bad. It's all bad. Let's see. We're getting to the bottom of the crap pile here. So, there was a mandate passed in Oregon. They're going to make masks permanently mandatory. So, doesn't matter if you get the vaccine. Doesn't matter if you had the COVID. Doesn't matter if you're in your car. Doesn't matter if you're outside. Put 2 masks on and like it. Okay? Doesn't matter how much it affects the social development of the upcoming generations. It doesn't matter. Put your mask on and like it. It doesn't matter if you have a health condition. Okay? Put your mask on. It's not going away. Stop, and you know what? Stop walking around and saying, "Oh, I can't wait till we get back to normal." No, we're not getting back. This is the new normal. They should put that in dictionary.com. New normal. Put your mask on and shut up. That's what should be in dictionary.com. So while that craziness is going on in Oregon, red states are passing laws to stop critical race theory from entering the schools. The conservatives are turning against Kristi Noem because she didn't sign a bill to stop trans people from playing in child sports, and that's a whole mess. That, like, conservatives like that went, oh no, Kristi Noem's bad, she's terrible, get her out. I mean, yeah, because you have so many allies that you just go, oh, so you didn't do something we think you should do, you're out. I mean, you might as well just call yourself progressives, conservatives, because, that's the thing. That's how it is. Oh, you don't like this thing that I like? You're out. You're gone. Yeah, so conservatives are just as retarded as progressives. Hate all of you. Hate all of you. So, we're going to finish this up with Joe Biden's press conference. It's one thing that the government or politicians lie to their people. They've always done that forever. And it's another thing for there to be, a news propaganda in which, the media tells you things that they want you to believe because, you gotta fall in line with the rest of the herd. But I mean, this nonsense about just like lying, like straight up lying, we all saw the press conference. Well, I mean, those of us that watched it, or that watched clips of it, or that, followed it when it happened or whatever, we saw it. Why is the news media telling us that it was like the greatest press conference ever and Joe Biden is the best president ever and he's going to take care? No. We watched it. We saw it. We know what happened. Don't lie to us. there was one specific point in the press conference where Joe Biden kind of, it had to do with the filibuster, and he just kind of stopped, sort of like I do sometimes. And just said, well, anyway. And the media acts like that didn't happen. Conservatives are saying that he is completely senile and doesn't know what he's talking about. And he just, just lost it. He just lost it and couldn't continue a thought. And my theory is not that. I think that he realized that he was saying things that maybe he shouldn't say, and he didn't have any way out of it except to stop and go, okay, we're moving on. I mean, there was he did sort of, he did trail off and mess up some things, and yeah, the questions were pre-screened, and the people he called on pre-screened, and he had notes for every answer he was going to give, and they basically kind of acted like they weren't going to talk about firearms and dodged that and moved on to infrastructure, because I think I didn't talk about this, but the shooting they had in Colorado where this guy went in and killed those people, and media immediately jumped on it because it went with their narrative for the shooting that they had in Georgia. They're like, oh, some crazy white guy went in and killed a bunch of people, and we need to get the guns. And then it came out that it wasn't a white guy, and he just killed a bunch of white guys. And, well, we need to get the guns. Like Joe Biden said in his answers, like, there's a time. There's a time for everything. Now's not quite the time for guns yet. We're not there yet. Even if they don't get the guns, it won't matter, because we got ESG scores. You heard of ESG scores? Do you know what your ESG score is? China's already doing the ESG scores. Trust me, if you have a firearm or you have any contact with a business that has anything to do with firearms, if you're dealing with a business that, has a connection with the NRA or they create something that's firearm related, you're going to have a poor ESG score. They're going to have a poor ESG score. And it's going to, come down to your ESG score. So the government doesn't need to come after your guns. It's really, the government doesn't have to do a whole hell of a lot, because they're going to get the private companies to do it for them. So yeah. My whiskey ball kind of broke today, so I got ice halves. But yeah, that's the podcast. That's going to be the end of that. Hopefully it's not the complete end of us. That's all I can say. Stay tuned for the bonus video coming this week. Stay tuned to next weekend, which will be the first Potomac Highlander video for the year. And there'll be more as soon as certain things open up. And I know I don't ever say this on my videos or podcasts, or not as much as I used to, because I'm not there yet. I don't say like, share, and subscribe or anything. I I just move on to the next because I don't care if you like, share, subscribe. I want to do the videos. I don't quite have the podcast quite where I want it yet. I think I'm still working out bugs and whatnot, obviously. I mean, if you can't tell, it's not smooth sailing. We're not there yet. But hopefully we'll make it there. My hope is that by the 10th podcast, I kind of have my thing down where I want it. And then I can say, like, share, and subscribe, and see if I can get canceled. Because currently I'm uncancelable. All right. So thanks for watching. Everybody have a nice week. Tune in next time for the Grumpy Snail podcast. 2 weeks from now, 12 o'clock p.m. Sunday. See you next time. Oh, I'm out.